I've got my dog Bogey here to demonstrate for you guys how you guys can trim your nails, your dog's nails at home. Bogey is a great candidate for this demonstration because he has those elusive black nails that we've all come to fear so much. Because it is a little bit harder to see where the blood vessel is, and it takes a little bit more skill to trim those nails, but I'm pretty confident that you guys can all do this pretty easily at home. In order to go ahead and trim the nails, you're going to need, the first thing you're going to need is a good quality pair of nail trimmers, and these are available at pretty much any pet supply store. For a dog Bogey size, I like this size of clipper. It's just a spring-loaded standard dog nail trimmer. If you have a smaller dog, Chihuahuas, some Yorkshire Terriers, you can go with a size lower. It's basically the same style of clipper, it's just a little bit smaller. These can also be used for cats and kittens, which we'll demonstrate in another video. There is also another style of nail trimmer. This is more of a guillotine style, and when you squeeze the handle, the blade actually comes up, and these are great for taking small shavings off of the nails. So for this demonstration, I'm going to go ahead and just use the standard clippers because that's what most of you guys will end up having at home. Another thing that you guys can have is some styptic powder. And this is also available at any pet supply store. And this stuff is great to have on hand just in case you accidentally do hit the blood vessel in the nail. This will not only stop the bleeding, but it also has a little bit of a topical anesthetic to numb the area as well. If you don't have this at home, it's okay. You can apply some cornstarch or some flour to the nail bed, and that will stop the bleeding as well. So the first demo I'm going to do is I'm going to try and demonstrate how to trim the nails. Depending on your dog's temperament, you may be able to actually get some of the nails trimmed on your own. Now this is going to be patient by patient basis. So if you have any hesitation and you know that your dog is not going to tolerate it or it's going to stress them out, then I definitely encourage you to get somebody else to give you a hand. Now, for those of you with dogs that are a little bit more nervous, what we can do is we can start to desensitize them to the nail trimming process. And usually what I tell people to do is get your dog in a position where they're comfortable and just start giving them some love. Get out the nail trimmers, let them see them, let them smell them. Bogey really has no interest because he knows what's coming. Some animals can be a little aversive to the sound of the nail trimmers, so you can actually just take them out, make some clicking noises, give some treats, give some praise, give some love, and then stop. And you do that over a couple of weeks, and then you gradually start getting them used to having their paws touched and spreading the toes out. You can also take the clippers and touch the paws with them without actually trimming a nail. This gets them used to having the equipment on their feet so that when it comes time to actually trim the nails, it's not as terrifying of a process. Once you guys get to that point, you can go ahead and start trimming the nails. And usually what I'll tell people is to go ahead and trim one nail, give a treat, give lots of love, make a big deal out of it, like it's a big federal case, and then stop for the night. And then the next night, do another nail. You want to go nice and slow because you don't want to make this a stressful event for them. Nail trimming can actually be a bonding experience between you and your pet if it's approached in positive ways. So for Bogey, what I usually do at home is I actually have him sitting in my lap with his feet facing away from me. Now, sometimes he's a little resistant to that. So we'll just kind of sit him here and just like so. We'll give him some love, let him get comfortable, and he knows that when he's sitting like this, he knows what's going to be coming now. Again, I do caution you, this is my dog and I know his temperament and I know his behavior very well, but any animal can be pushed to limits, even the most docile, happy-go-lucky dogs. So just always keep that in mind when you're trying to attempt any type of home care on your own. So what I've got is I'm going to actually work on his back paws here. So usually the back nails are a little bit shorter than the front nails. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start shaving away until I can start to see where the blood vessel is starting. Now in a dog with black nails, you won't be able to actually see that blood vessel through the nail bed itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to start cutting until we can actually see a white circle with a little black dot in the center. It's almost going to look like a bullseye. That black dot is the very beginning of the quick, or the blood vessel in the nail. So with black nails, you have to just take smooth shavings just until you get to that point. Now if Bogey had clear nails, what you would be able to see is the clear nail, and then there would be a pink area of the nail that kind of tapers off to a triangular point. the tip of that point is the very beginning of the quick, the blood supply to that nail, and that's the area that we would want to avoid. So when you're trimming nails with clear nails, you want to just trim right up to the beginning of that pink triangle. So when you're trimming nails, it's kind of important to maintain the shape of the nail because the nails can start to grow depending on how you trim them. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of separating Bogey's toes, and I'm just gonna take a couple of shavings off. Good job, buddy. So usually the first one is, for him, is usually the one where he's like, nope, I'm done with this. Okay, bug. There you go. And we would just go systematically through each individual paw. You want to reposition here, buddy? Hold on. There you go. See. All right, so I'll go ahead and take a look at the next one. And what we're doing is, like I said, we're just taking little shavings off. Now, Bogey and I have kind of taken a long time in training to get to this point. Yeah, I know. And what I'll do is, in a minute, I'll have an assistant come in. We'll be able to get you guys a close-up of these nails so you can see what the quick actually looks like. Good job, buddy. And that's pretty much all there is to it. So, just remember, after you trim the nails will actually be a little on the sharper side, just because they're going to be rough. And you can actually take your nail trimmers and kind of trim the sides and round them out to a nice rounded edge so that when they grow back, they're not growing back all at a funky angle. So what I'll do is we'll go ahead and get an assistant in here, and then I'll show you guys how you can trim the nails with your pet standing with an assistant or laying down with assistant. And we'll just kind of move through and get Bogey's manicure all set up so he's ready to go out for a night on the town. Home. So what we're going to do is we'll show you now how you can trim the nails with a helper. So depending again on your dog's temperament, what we can do is you have two options. You can either do the nail trim with them laying down on their side or standing. Some dogs don't really do well on their side, and they do better in a standing position. So for that, what you would do is you would have whoever's helping you put one hand underneath their hips that supports their back so that they can't try to go down. And then the other hand is going to go right around the neck. And on your dog, you'll feel there's a nice area here where you can put some good pressure where you're not occluding their airway so that they can still breathe okay. But you're holding them into your chest so that they're not able to come at you and bite you. You always want to maintain good control of the head. So what I'll do is I'll use the same trimmers again. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift Bogey's paw like so. And again, we're going to take little shavings. And we'll just move systematically through, just like so. Good job, Bugs. So we would go ahead and move through all of the nails, and then we would go ahead and make sure that if your dog has dew claws, so the dew claws are the equivalent of the thumbs, those are the little ones that sit up here. We want to keep those nice and short because those are usually the problem nails, that those are really easily snagged on carpeting and furniture and things like that. So the other option is to get him into a laying down position. So what we'll do is we're going to have him lay down with his feet towards me. Steady. There you go. There you go, buddy. So now that we've got him laying down, so what Jack's going to do is he's going to hold the bottom legs. If they hold the bottom legs, the legs that they're laying down on, then that maintains good control and the animal can't really get up because they don't have that sense of balance to be able to stand up. With his forearm, he's actually placing gentle pressure on the neck. We want to be cautious not to cause any injury to their neck or make it so that they can't breathe, but we still have really good control of the head. So now I can just go ahead and take whichever paw I'm going to be working on, and Jack has good control of the rest of the animal. So what I'll do is we'll kind of get in close so that you can actually see what we're looking at here. Good job, Bogey. So on Bogey's nails, so what I'm doing is I'm just taking those single shavings. So as you can see here, there's quite a bit of this white part. That is the actual cuticle of the nail. And what we're looking for is that little black dot, which we're starting to get
right there in the center. So that is the very beginning of the quick of the nail, and I'm going to stop there and I'm not going to go any further because doing so would actually cause me to make him bleed. I'm actually going to swap out my nail trimmers here. And having good, hey, hi buddy, hi. And you guys can take breaks as needed. There's nothing wrong with that. And again, you know, we want this to be as stress-free as possible for all parties involved. Bogey, Bogey, good boy, good boy. Shh. Good job, kid. Good job. So we'll just go ahead and move through and finish trimming these nails. Hey, bugger. So as you can see, Bogey does better with sitting in my lap. He's not really a restraint kind of dog. But again, you know, use your best judgment for what is going to work for your pet. I don't want to stress Bogey out too much, so I'm going to stop for now. But it's a good example of how you want to just take those shavings until you're just starting to see the tip of that blood vessel, which is going to show up as that black dot in the center of his nail. Once you get that all done, you want to give lots of praise. Bogey, Bogey, good job, buddy. Good job, dude. And you want to try and establish that bond that you have with your pet. If you have any question as to your pet's temperament, I do recommend using a muzzle just for your own safety or having the nails professionally trimmed by your veterinary team. If you guys have any questions or comments on trimming dog nails at home, feel free to shoot us an email at ask_us@pearlanimalhospital.com. We'd love to hear your feedback. We'll see you guys soon.